Just look at what happened to Jagmeet's former bestie, Justin Trudeau. He said there isn't a snowball's chance in hell that Canada would join the US, which is Canadian for no way. And Jagmeet Singh has walked right into it, though frankly it works well for India. Until now, Jagmeet and Trudeau had an ally in Washington. Joe Biden may not have criticized New Delhi, but he did openly support Canada. His chances of becoming Prime Minister are about the same as Trudeau's, 0. And Trudeau is not even in the race.
Jagmeet Singh's political career is crashing down. Indian media giant Py Sharma just exposed Singh's hypocrisy and failed leadership in a brutal takedown that's shaking Canadian politics to its core. From Maserati Marxist to Khalistani mascot, Singh's fall from grace is a shocking story of luxury living and empty promises. You won't believe what Sharma revealed about Singh's true colors. You won't believe the shocking revelations that have just come to light about Jagmeet Singh. The man who claims to be a champion of the working class has been caught living a life of luxury that would make even the most privileged blush. Py Sharma, the fearless Indian media giant, has blown the lid off Singh's carefully crafted image, exposing him as nothing more than a hypocrite of the highest order. While hard-working Canadians struggle to make ends meet, Singh has been secretly indulging in a lifestyle that would make a Hollywood celebrity jealous. Py Sharma's bombshell report reveals Singh's obsession with luxury brands that most people can only dream of. We're not talking about the occasional splurge here, folks. We're talking about a man who surrounds himself with opulence while preaching socialist values. Get ready for this. Singh has been spotted sporting not one, but multiple Rolex watches. These aren't your average timepieces. We're talking about accessories that cost more than what many Canadians make in a year. And that's just the beginning. The NDP leader has been seen cruising around in a sleek BMW, leaving ordinary citizens in his dust as he zips from one fancy event to another. But wait, there's more. Shocking photos have emerged of Singh flaunting designer Versace bags while everyday Canadians struggle to afford basic groceries. The contrast couldn't be more stark. Here's a man who claims to understand the plight of the working class, yet he's walking around with bags that cost more than some people's monthly rent. It's a slap in the face to every Canadian who's ever had to choose between paying bills and putting food on the table. The hypocrisy is so blatant that Singh has earned himself a new nickname, the Maserati Marxist. This moniker has spread like wildfire across social media, perfectly capturing the two-faced nature of Singh's politics. On one hand, he talks about wealth redistribution and supporting the underprivileged. On the other, he's living a life of luxury that would make even the most ardent capitalist blush. When confronted about his lavish lifestyle, Singh's attempts to defend himself have backfired spectacularly. Instead of addressing the concerns head-on, he's tried to brush them off as unimportant. But Canadians aren't buying it. With every fumbling excuse, Singh only manages to make himself look even more out of touch with the very people he claims to represent. As Singh's credibility crumbles under the weight of these revelations, his political opponents have seized the opportunity to attack. Conservative MPs have been quick to point out the glaring inconsistency between Singh's words and actions. Even some of his own party members are starting to distance themselves, worried about the damage this scandal could do to the NDP's reputation. Py Sharma's exposé has done more than just reveal Singh's expensive tastes. It's proven that his entire man-of-the-people image is nothing but a carefully crafted lie. The facade has crumbled, leaving behind a politician who seems more interested in designer labels than in the real issues facing everyday Canadians. Just when you thought Jagmeet Singh's political career couldn't take another hit, the Indian media drops a bombshell that's left Canada reeling. Py Sharma, the relentless journalist who exposed Singh's luxury lifestyle, is back with an even more explosive revelation. This time, it's not about designer watches or fancy cars. It's about Singh's secret role in destroying Canada-India relations. For years, Singh has been playing a dangerous game with Canada's international reputation. His stance on India-Canada relations raised eyebrows, but no one could have predicted the diplomatic disaster that was brewing behind the scenes. Py Sharma's latest exposé reveals the shocking truth. Singh has earned himself the label of Khalistani mascot in Indian media circles. But what does this explosive nickname really mean? It turns out that Singh's support for baseless allegations against India has come back to bite him, and Canada, in a big way. Sharma's report unveils the dirty details of Singh's behind-the-scenes push for sanctions against India, a move that has sent shockwaves through diplomatic channels. As a result of Singh's reckless actions, Canada's relationship with India is crumbling faster than a stale samosa. And guess what? All fingers are pointing straight at our wannabe working-class hero. It's a diplomatic mess of epic proportions, and Singh is right at the center of it all. But here's where things get really interesting. Py Sharma has uncovered Singh's go-to political strategy, and it's as sneaky as it is damaging. She calls it the shoot and scoot approach. In Sharma's own words, Jagmeet Singh's political career has been defined by what she calls a shoot and scoot strategy, making bold accusations and promises only to backtrack when faced with the consequences. And boy, is Singh facing some serious consequences now. As the diplomatic fallout rains down on Canada, Singh is desperately trying to distance himself from the mess he created. But this time, his shoot and scoot tactics aren't working. The evidence is piling up, and it's painting a picture of a politician who's more interested in scoring points than in responsible leadership. The real kicker? Canada's credibility on the world stage is taking a nosedive faster than Singh's approval ratings. The Indian media is having a field day questioning the credibility of Canada's investigation into allegations against India. They're pointing out the lack of evidence and the release of suspects on bail, all of which undermines Singh's claims and makes Canada look like a nation of conspiracy theorists. As the dust settles on this diplomatic disaster, one thing is crystal clear. Jagmeet Singh has become a liability for Canada on the international stage. Py Sharma's scathing critique has exposed him as a politician who's willing to sacrifice his nation's interests for his own agenda. It's a damning indictment, and one that's sure to have lasting consequences for Singh's political future. Just when Singh thought he'd weathered the storm of international criticism, a tsunami of outrage was brewing right in his own backyard. The shocking scenes that unfolded next left even hardened political veterans speechless. Jagmeet Singh, the charismatic leader known for his smooth talking and designer suits, found himself face-to-face with a sea of furious constituents he once called supporters. Picture this: a massive crowd gathering outside Singh's Burnaby office, their anger palpable in the air. These weren't just random protesters. These were the very people who had put their faith in Singh to represent their interests. But now, that faith had turned to fury. The chants of "Stop propping up Trudeau" and "Jagmeet, you failed Canadians" echoed through the streets, a damning indictment of Singh's leadership. As Singh stepped out to address the crowd, he was met with a wall of hostility that would make even the toughest politician quake in their boots. Footage of the confrontation spread like wildfire across social media, showing angry voters getting right in Singh's face and calling him Trudeau's puppet without hesitation. It was a far cry from the adoring crowds that once flocked to hear Singh speak. But here's where things get really wild. Instead of calming the situation, Singh's attempts to reason with the protesters only seemed to pour gasoline on the fire. Every word out of his mouth was met with jeers and accusations of hypocrisy. It was like watching a train wreck in slow motion. You couldn't look away, but you also couldn't believe what you were seeing. As the protest raged on, political analysts were quick to weigh in, and their verdict was brutal. This wasn't just a bump in the road for Singh. It was potentially the beginning of the end for his leadership. The Burnaby protest marked a turning point, they said, signaling that Singh had lost touch with the very people he claimed to champion. But why were Singh's own constituents turning against him so viciously? The answer lies in a perfect storm of frustration and betrayal. Singh's continued support for Trudeau's government, despite mounting economic struggles for everyday Canadians, had left many feeling abandoned. They saw Singh as a sellout, more interested in playing nice with Trudeau than fighting for real solutions to their problems. The backlash against Singh wasn't just about policy disagreements. It was personal. Protesters accused him of hypocrisy, pointing out the stark contrast between his luxurious lifestyle and the struggles of working-class Canadians. The man who once positioned himself as a champion of the people now found himself cast as an out-of-touch elitist. As the pressure mounted, cracks began to show in Singh's usually unflappable demeanor. The confident smile that had become his trademark was replaced by a look of genuine concern. For perhaps the first time in his political career, Singh seemed truly rattled. The Burnaby protest wasn't just a local issue. It quickly became a national embarrassment for Singh and the NDP. Social media exploded with videos and memes mocking the beleaguered leader, while political rivals seized the opportunity to twist the knife even further. In the span of a few hours, Singh's image as a man of the people had been shattered beyond repair. As Singh's political career spirals into chaos, the fallout from Py Sharma's explosive exposé continues to reverberate. The once charismatic leader now finds himself in a desperate struggle for survival, his credibility shattered beyond repair. With public discontent reaching a fever pitch, political analysts are already speculating about potential successors to lead the NDP in a new direction. The writing is on the wall for Singh, and it's not pretty. His grand promises and fiery rhetoric have been exposed as nothing more than empty words from a man living a life of luxury while preaching socialism. As Canadians wake up to Singh's true colors, his relevance in the political landscape is fading faster than you can say, designer handbag. The question on everyone's lips isn't if Singh will fall, it's how spectacularly the implosion will be. Brace yourselves for the political meltdown of the century, folks. Singh's days as a major player in Canadian politics are numbered, and the countdown has already begun.